hard, no crick. Yeah. Welcome to the space where knowledge meets the action. Welcome to the Empowering Show, where we break down the barriers, helping you grow. Financial literacy, speaking truth to the power. Real conversation, changing lives by the hour. We inspire to change, yeah, we challenge the status quo. Sharing tools for building wealth, watching your seeds grow. Empower you to take control of your future. No more living in the past. We're the authors of the suture. Get ready, get set, let the movement begin. Because empowerment starts now. Let the light in.
All right. Now that's an introduction. So just to let you guys know, that's Hard Truth. That's one of my sons. And he does the do. It's 4:04, March 1st on a Sunday, which we don't do many shows on Sunday, but I figure we're just about at the end of what we call Black History. Of course, Black History is for everybody, every day, all year long, 365 days a year, 7 days a week. It is Black History. Please remember, without Black history, if you want to call it, or without African Americans and the things that we have contributed not to this country and Black people around the world, the contributions that we have contributed around the world, there would be no flight, there would be no telephone, telegraph, and we'd probably be sitting up somewhere in the dark, one of them caves somewhere. Today, I'm going to introduce a young man. His name is Jimmy Lavender. Now, like I said, this is the end of what we call Black History Month, right? Yesterday was the last day, so it's the shortest day of the month. So I wanted to give you something a little different point of view. We got the Muhammad Ali's and we got the Malcolm X's and we got the James Baldwin. Well, we also have a Jimmy Lavender. Now he's going to come to you from a different perspective of what you would call Black history. It's not so romantic as the other cats have it. But so we want to thank you very much, and let's get started with the show. Right on, Mr. Jimmy Lavender. My brother, what's happening, man? Long time. I haven't seen you in quite a while. How's life been going for you?
It's been a couple of years. Life's been pretty good. Been pretty good. No complaints.
You know what they say, life keep lifing, right? We hopefully that we continue to grow old, even though you got to grow old with the pain, but grow old nonetheless. Let's hope that we continue in that way. Now, I generally start the show off by trying to find things to be grateful for. Did you hear that introduction?
Yes.
Now, my son made that.
Yeah,
I thought
that's great.
And I thought it was very talented. I just thought it was great. I mean, compared to what I had originally, so that I'm blessed. I'm grateful to have the people around me that I have. My children are very, very talented. All of them, not one of them. All of them are talented in their little special way. So that's where I feel grateful for having those people around me like that. That's generally how I start my show. So Jimmy Lavender, we're going to talk about you today.
Okay.
How about that?
This
is your day to shine, your day to be the man. All right. So Jimmy Lavender, we know that you were the co-founder of Watts. What is that? 1992, the Bishops?
1972.
1972. What is the Bishops? Everybody's not old like me. Everybody, they don't come from that area that we come from, so they may not be aware of the Bishops. So explain it to us. What are the Bishops?
Well, the Bishops are a group of young men that formed in 1972, mainly to protect our neighborhood from a very aggressive group of about 2,000 gang members. And we formed to protect our neighborhood. We called ourselves the Bishops.
You know, that kind of reminds me of why the Black Panthers became the Black Panthers, was there to protect their neighborhood from the, well, in their case, it was the police. In your case, it was from what?
A large gang known as the Crips. At that time, there were about 2,000 strong, and about 6 of us formed in our neighborhood and refused to allow them to come in our neighborhood and rob our parents. And at the same time, our guys had problems going to school without losing tennis shoes. I've been just straight robbed. So we formed together and said, you cannot cross over these tracks and you cannot harm anybody in our neighborhood without coming through us.
So you were the leader, or you, and it said co-founder. So I'm assuming there's someone else. Who's the other co-founder?
There's there's 13 of us who got together and voted on what we was going to do the whole 9 yards. And my brother Bobby was the main person, for the voice of the neighborhood. So he was the leader.
Wow. Is he still around, Bobby?
Bobby died in April 1994 of cancer.
Wow. That was a big loss to you, huh?
That was a big loss to me. We're okay. 1 year apart, so we almost did everything together.
Okay, so now we're going to go down the rabbit hole. So how old are you now?
35.
35. Mom.
Bro, I get confused. I get a little confused. I'm knocking on the door of 71 now. Bless
my man. Hey, brother, don't. I'm right behind you. It's all good. It's all good, man. A lot of people don't make it, especially coming from the environment in which you come from. I mean, a lot of people don't make it to 20, less more 71. So listen, you've been blessed.
Listen, I have friends who didn't make it past 14 years old.
Why?
Past 14 years old. Yeah, so it's a blessing. It's a blessing where I come from to even make 25.
Yeah, I know that feeling. Now, so it says Watts. So the whole thing started out in Watts, California?
For the Bishops, yes.
Okay. And what, did it evolve into something else?
No, it's still Bishops today. The only thing is Bishops have spread it all across the country in about 25 different cities now.
Did they have any other affiliations with any other gangs?
Yeah, actually, the Ludus Park Pyrus was our brother clique, and they come out of Compton.
Wow. So you got a lot of the California impoverished areas.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And you had to protect each other from other gang rivals that were coming in and so forth and so on. So what was it like with you growing up? I mean, because the Bishops, you had to be, I guess, how old are you? 18 when you started that?
I was 16.
Okay, so what was life growing up for you that brought you to that particular point where you guys felt that you had to organize some sort of gang to protect the neighborhood? What was life before then?
Well, for us, it was with a brother named Skip. And Skip was like a brother to the Lavender brothers. And the basketball player in the neighborhood, the A student in school, and Crip gang members that came into our neighborhood. Like I said, he was robbing people, doing all this kind of stuff. They saw Skip, argument broke out, and they shot him in the throat. So they killed my best friend. Once they shot him, I was the first one to get to the gun shop. So I actually held him in my arms, watching him die. And if you never held anybody and watched them die and your best friend, then you won't understand my reaction. I snapped. And by my brother, who always having my back, watching his younger brother snap, then he knew that he had to protect me. So we formed Bishop. And we said never again. But other than that, our neighborhood was Watts. It was Watts. It's always a rough neighborhood. I don't know what it is to live in a nice neighborhood. It was always rough, always fighting, and it's what I grew up around.
Now, I mean, myself, I mean, it's not about me, but I grew up in Brownsville, Brooklyn. I don't know, but we had different gangs. We had a multitude of gangs, and we pretty much did the same thing. I guess it was supposed to protect the neighborhood, but it always turned into something violent and became more and more violent, and people started getting killed, and drugs got involved. So, is that the same thing that took place with the bishops?
Same situation. Same
Hmm.
situation. Here's the deal. We didn't see what we were doing no different than what they were doing in the military. We saw the military as a big game. What's the difference? I mean, that was our attitude. They're going over in different countries, fighting, killing people for their land, or even if you go back to Adolf Hitler, they were running over different countries right outside their land. And those guys, England and all those other little countries, fought them off. And so that's the same thing with the street gangs did in LA. We had a big gang running through all the neighborhoods, terrorizing everybody, and we had little pockets. This little pocket was fighting them off. And then what happened was the little pockets came together as one, party together, our numbers went up, but we were still badly outnumbered, at least 20-1.
I'm still, even then, at that 20-1 is not pretty good odds. So it's probably a lot of death going on
A lot of
with
death.
the other rival gangs. Yeah, I mean, is it anything like what you see now? I'm going to tell you probably not, but I got to add, what you see on television? You remember they had the show that used to come on The Wire? Was it anything like that?
I've never seen The Wire, but
Oh.
what was The Wire like?
Ah, Project Life and Watts and then in Compton, and what life was like then, and it was the police versus the gang members. It was a very good show. I don't know why they took it off the air. I wish you would have watched it. I'm not trying to advertise for a particular show. I was just trying to make a reference point as to what it was like. Because for me in Brownsville, Brooklyn, like I said, we grew up. It was impoverished. And until I was an adult, I didn't know what it was like to live anywhere nice. It was always from one s-hole to another, out of the frying pan and into the fire. And we had gangs until we got to a point where you had to be an individual. It became more and more of an individual, and less of wanting to be a part of a gang, because that got you nothing but grief and death. So I
Exactly.
just wondered what it was like for you guys. I mean, this is you're doing this now, like we're doing an interview. So this is after the gangs, right? We've
Right, right.
matured now. We've
Yes.
gotten older. So what I always tell people as elders, once you've learned and you've received a certain amount of knowledge, you got to pass this knowledge on. So when I'm asking you, you've reached a certain maturity. How do you, as an elder, pass this information, or the much needed information? And what information do you pass on to the youth?
Well,
I know that was a mouthful. I'm sorry, brother, but I got to do my job.
I pass on a lot of information. I do a lot of podcasts, and I try to talk to the youngsters about not making the mistakes that we made. And you mentioned movies on TV, that type of thing. What they do, sometimes they build up a gang leader to be something that most gang leaders are not.
Hmm.
They make a gang leader to be a cold-blooded killer. My brother was a leader, but he never killed nobody. As a matter of fact, he stopped a number of people from being killed. So have I. But they don't see that. Most of the gang members and leaders are great athletes. Yeah. Could have played pro sports easily. Then again, when we talk about gangs, you have to talk about the difference in gang members and gang bangers.
Okay.
See, there's a difference. Every gang member is not a gang banger. See, your gang banger is somebody that goes out, be knife, be guns, or just pulling up on people all the time, jumping up on cars, fighting, just really aggressive. And then you have that other gang member who dressed like the gang member, lives in the neighborhood, but he ain't gonna bust a grape.
Mm.
So that's a gang member, and not a gang banger. And we get them all mixed up and think all of them is bad.
That's because we watch too much television.
Too much television.
Well, you know, I mean, it used to be where, what was it? Or they had a saying that imitating life, where you had art that would or life would imitate art. That's what we have now. Not exactly art imitating life. We have life and people in life that are trying to imitate what they see on the television set, or try to become the people that are on the television set. And in our case, it's unfortunate because they show us as being buffoons, uneducated, hypersexual, you know, violent. This is the projection that they have of us when they look at us. This is why we have a problem. Walk down the street, they don't know you. They already have a view of you.
Exactly.
By default, you're a criminal. Right? By default, you are a criminal.
Exactly.
Right? Again, so with these youth, do you hold any meetings with them? Do you have any like keynote speaking events?
When I was with the youth gang program, then we used to do that, meet with them that way, and gang intervention type programs. I've done that for a couple of years. But as I gotten older, no, I don't meet with them like that anymore. And you have to be careful too, because you get to meet with these young gang members. They got things called a RICO Act.
Oh, yeah.
And then next thing you know, you have some type of police raid, and you find yourself with a lawyer trying to get out of jail from helping these youngsters.
Ah.
So with that being said, what that created was, you have a lot of triple OGs like myself, children, grandchildren, not trying to get caught up in that. So a lot of us stay away from those youngsters, period.
Did you say triple OG?
I'm triple OG.
My man said triple OG. I haven't never heard that expression. You know, they just call me old. Triple OG. I gotta kind of like that. I gotta remember that.
With the gangs that we know now as Bishops, Crips, Brams, and all that, since I am like a founding father, and that makes me a triple OG.
Okay.
And then about every 10 years later, it goes down to the double OGs, and then the OGs, and then the YGs. So now we're at the YGs. And of course, the YGs don't know the history of what started in the beginning. All this started. Yeah.
So is this was the Bloods and the Crip? Is that a branch off of the Bishops?
No,
okay.
The Crips predates the Bishops.
Okay.
And the Bloods came later, and all the gangs that are not Crips, they are under what they call the blood car. The Dimmer Lanes, the Athens Park Boys, the Pyrus, Bounty Hunters, Bishops, those are all under the blood car. Yeah. And then, of course, the Crips have their own big car.
I tell you, the gang I would like to see is the gang of the African Americans, pretty much black people around the world. You know, that global majority.
Yes,
that's the gang I want to see. I want to see that gang come together. You
that's
know, that gang. Join. Yeah, that's the gang I want to see.
That's the
but
gang.
You know, that comes through again from the elders. We have to show and prove. We have to show them the way, which direction that they have to go. You do what you do. The podcast is great. I think it's an excellent idea. I do what I do from here, and I truly encourage young people to read. As you can look around, I'm a reader. I enjoy reading, and I couldn't read until I was about 14 years old. So I guess that's why I'm a big advocate of reading so much.
Okay.
You know,
okay.
And you, well, how much education do you have now?
Well, I was never a reader.
Okay.
Although I write books.
Oh, better than me.
I'm not a reader. I'm a writer, and I don't read other people's books. I'm not a reader.
Okay.
Sounds
Do,
crazy.
do you have any? Do you have any books out that we should be looking for? Or
Well, my very first book is my life story,
okay,
and it's called Bitter Rain and a Better Tomorrow.
Bitter Rain and a Better Tomorrow. Let me just
Bitter
get that
Rain.
right now.
Mhm.
Bitter Rain for a
And
Better Tomorrow. When was this written?
I'm sorry.
When was it written?
Oh, about 5 years ago.
Oh, so I would be able to find it on Barnes and Noble, or
You,
was it
you could find it on Amazon.
okay?
While you're looking for that one, you could find a fiction book, which is called Me and Cheryl Inseparable, and another one called Benny and Maria Forever. And I'm working on my fourth book called A Bishop's Redemption.
Okay, now other than the first one, these are fiction books.
Yes.
What are they based off of? Oh, see your daughter always trying to take care of you.
That's my baby.
I hear you, man.
Look, here we go.
Go ahead.
Can you see it?
You got to hold it up a little higher. Back. Take it back. There you go. Beautiful.
That's
Okay,
Bitter
we
Rain.
got that.
This is Benny and Maria.
Like
Forever.
Benny and the Jets, huh?
Yeah. And my daughter got more books than me.
Really?
My other book is upstairs.
More books written or more books written by you?
I have another book written by me.
Okay.
This is my first book, nonfiction. That good looking guy you're looking at, that was me when I was 14.
Oh, I hear you.
I was 14. And you could see how tough I was, or look on here. This was the days when the guy went to school and they would take your leather jackets and your suede jacket. Brother, you don't take nothing from nobody look like this.
Yeah, you knew me? You knew me back then? What kind of stuff is that, man?
You're going to have a problem, and most gangsters don't want a problem. They want an easy fix, but they don't bother nobody look like that. And then the other book would be Me and Cheryl Inseparable.
Okay.
Great reads. Yeah.
No, I'll look them up. I have a web page, and on the web page I have a part of where I have recommended books, recommended book reading.
Yeah.
I have books on there. Before the Mayflower, and books like that on there.
Before the Mayflower.
Yeah, Claude Brown's with Man Child in the Promised Land. I have different books like that. Like I'm reading a book now called Burn Down Master House. I've read a book called The Grift. That was pretty good. It's a pretty good book. I'm gonna read my next one is gonna be Black AF History.
Mm-hmm.
I bought it. I started to read it, but then this other book intrigued me. So it was a fiction book. Burn Down Master's House it's a pretty damn good book. It's fiction. Okay. But it seems to be based, as I read it, it seems to be based off true events.
Okay.
It's about rebellion. Good book.
And for me to become a writer, I never thought that would happen. Listen, I had a bad speech problem, stutter. Matter of fact, my nickname was Ha
ha.
Children, I don't like to say kids because a kid's a goat. Children can be really rude. So in class, when I had to read, I would see a word coming up like tree, but my pronunciation of that word was Cree. And then they would laugh. And so then the thing about you laughing at me, I know what gate you went out after school. And I'd be waiting on you, So I didn't want to read in class, so that made me look like a bad student, getting used in cooperation and all this kind of stuff. My mother didn't understand me. Her whole thing was, if they don't hit you, don't hit them. Words don't hurt. But my mother was wrong. Words do hurt some people. And they hurted me. So I gave my fist names. This was Les, and this was Rest. And you're going to meet them. and made me a bad guy, bad reputation, that type of thing. So all through school until the 11th grade, my speech got better behind speech therapy. I had speech therapy and helped me a whole lot, confidence up, that type of thing. And, here's the last thing on that was my brother. I wrote him a letter, my older brother, Willie. I wrote him a letter and he responded. And he said, your letter sounds like something out of Walt Disney. I took that hard. And then when I read back my letter, I didn't have, what you got in words? Commas, periods, punctuation marks.
Grammar, right.
I didn't have that down pat because I never went to English. I didn't go to class. I didn't do all that kind of stuff. And it was showing. So what I did was I went to the library and they had a tutor there. She gave me 20 minutes once a week. And she helped me with my writing, my grammar. And in the results, damn. Yeah.
Yeah, I could tell you, we got to take a little break in a minute, but I could tell you this reminds me of some of the stuff that I read about slavery and how we were restricted from reading and writing, but we seem to have always found a way. Education is the key. I believe that wholeheartedly. The more data, the more knowledge that you have, I think it makes life a little well, it could make life hard for you too. That's why they say ignorance is bliss. Sometimes not knowing is make you feel a little better. But we got to take a little break because I got to pay the bills. So we'll be right back 1 second. Okay?
Yes.
All right.
A doctor's calling. A company's mission. United for a greater good. When Edmark International, the pioneers of wellness, joined forces with Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, naturopath, the world gained a new weapon in the fight for true health. Co-created, science-backed, nature-powered. This isn't just a product. This is a movement. Born from decades of groundbreaking research, naturopathic mastery, and Edmark's relentless innovation.
The body wants to heal itself, and we have just given it the ultimate toolkit.
A detox unlike any other. A partnership unlike any other. The future of health starts now.
Yeah, for you guys, thank you guys for tuning in. This is the Empowerment Show. My name is Kendall Stevenson. It's March 1st, Sunday, approximately 4:30 in the afternoon. Today, I brought a young man in. His name is Jimmy Lavender. But I want to talk about that product just a minute ago. That was the commercial that came on. Let me say, I tried it. Whoo! It does work. It works very well. So if you're looking to get cleaned out or you're looking to detox your body, check them out, Trinity. All right, let me bring my man back on the stage because we were having a nice conversation about some writing and book writing. So let me bring him back so he can continue to tell us about that. Hey, there you go, Mr. Lavender. How are you?
Yes, sir.
Nice to see you again.
Thanks,
always nice. Always nice to see you again. That commercial was something else, huh? I tell you, if you never tried that stuff, man, I'm gonna tell you, it'll clean you out.
Yeah,
it's a 21-day product, and it does what it says, detoxifies, but you feel good, you feel light afterwards. So I don't mind detoxifying and cleaning myself out. And we were talking about, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we have to do that. Get all those parasites and all that kind of crap out of us. I use one called CKLS. Your colon, your kidney, your liver, and your spleens. And it cleans you out. And it's great. Dr. Goss.
So we were talking about your book writing skills. So you plan on coming up with any new books? You know,
I do. I have another one. Once I get done with this one, a friend of mine recently died, and she wanted me to help her with a book, and I'm going to do that in her honor. She found herself living on the street for a lot of years. And she wanted me to tell her story homeless, on drugs, in Watts. You know, I know there's people all over the country like that, but she wanted to know how it was in Watts. So I'm going to honor what she wanted. I know her story pretty well, along with so many other people from being out there in the street that have been taken advantage of, how your family disappears on you after so long, after they try so hard to get you off of drugs. But after so long, they give up on you. And that was her case.
Well, I could tell you this, man. I think it's a shame that we live in a country where we have homeless people. We're supposed to be like one of the richest countries, if not the richest country on the planet. And I've been to other countries where they don't have that homeless problem. They don't have that healthcare problem or that education issue. It just seems like they want to take care of their people. And I think this is why over here we have such a rebellion and protests against the status quo, against the system. And I believe that's what's created the gangs that we have. I think that's what pushed people into that gang type situation of you having to protect your own neighborhood and you having to protect and keep what's yours. Mm-hmm.
Exactly. It's always that in the back of your head, you have to protect. And I try to tell people this: if you go out there and do something crazy, and things are so crazy now in these streets, you leaving your family to fend for themselves. Your mother already can't walk down the street in the Watts area. Your little brother, your little sister can't walk down the street. And then you do something really stupid and you gone. The protectors go. Over what? Over what? Somebody looked at you the wrong way. We got to fight over that. And we so quick to kill one another. I don't get it. See, I came up in a time where our first things was with the hands. We fought. There was very little shooting at first. And then once the shooting started, man, it went haywire.
Well, once they put the drugs into our neighborhoods, because we don't exactly manufacture drugs in the neighborhood. There's no big factories there. And then once they started bringing the guns into the neighborhoods, because we don't have any, I haven't seen any gun manufacturers doing that in Watts or in Brownsville, Brooklyn, man. But there always seem to be a lot of guns and drugs, and it seems to be coming from out of the neighborhood and coming into our neighborhood. You see, and that plays a big influence on us too. And then you see what they tell the kid. You and I are sitting here. We're talking about how our children and how the next generation of us, we need to evolve. We need to be educated. We need more data. We need to learn so that we can grow. And you got all these obstacles. I hear people would come up to a child and say, well, college is not for everybody. Oh, I hate that saying. I really do. It may be a true statement, but how do you know if you never tried it?
Yeah.
You know if you like chocolate if you never ate any of it. Right. So by telling somebody that's 16, 17 years old, think about it, 16, 17 years old, somebody comes in and says, well, college is not for everybody. You already don't want to be in school. High school is rough to get through.
Well, let me share this with you.
You don't want to go back to a school.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I was one, maybe because of the speech problem and the early things I went through in school. I hated school. If it wasn't for sports, I probably would have dropped out of school a long time ago. But I ended up doing one semester at a college. I was telling Brother Jai, I took administration of justice because I want to be an FBI agent. But when they told me that you have to have math, trigonometry, all this different math and all this kind of stuff to be a forensics expert, I said, I don't know algebra. I don't know all this. And I ain't trying to learn. So I didn't go back to the second semester.
Trust me, it's a whole different type of math, man. It's not the same math when you're doing forensic. But for me, I was, like I tell you, I couldn't read or write until I was actually a teenager. I learned how to read and write by being incarcerated. That someone actually gave a damn. So if I hadn't have been incarcerated, today I may not still be able to read or write. My father couldn't read or write. 86 years old, he passed away. Could not read or write. So I was born with developmental dyslexia. And I would tell anybody, go to school. My problem is with us is that we'll allow anything to be an obstacle to stop you from growing. We'll say it's okay. We'll go along to get along and think it's okay. And then we'll try to emulate into this society. Well, we're bringing nothing to the table. I mean, before we brought these inventors, they wanted to fight with us. Even like Granville T. Woods, he had the big fight out with what's his name, Edison, over inventions that they made. Where's our people like that now? I mean, I see people like Jasmine Crockett, but then she's pretty well educated. I'm looking for these people that will tell you, like back in the 60s and 70s, man, they were telling us go to college, that we needed, that we had to be twice as good. We had to be 3 times as good. You couldn't get there without having a degree or education. And look at where it's gotten us today. Think about today, where education has gone from way up here to way down here. And you got a president talking about, I love the poorly educated. Right?
Yes, sir.
So it's like, I want you to be dumb. I want you to be stupid. Look, they did that to us back in slavery. I don't want you to read. I don't want you to be able to learn. See, if you don't learn, you don't read these things, then you're vulnerable to everything. They can manipulate you, tell you any damn thing.
I can tell you.
And then you'll just go along to get along. So this way, to me, education is very important. Yes, college may not be for everyone. I'll agree 100%, but try it first. If it's not for you, then let's look for some alternatives, because you're still going to have to be able to survive in this environment. Mm-hmm. So this is what I do when I go around and I do my little keynote speaking and I speak to the youth and so forth. This is the type of the if you want to call it lecture, but this is what I try to convey to them. So what do you try to convey on your end as an elder?
Well, like I said, actually, I don't do a whole lot of talking anymore. I mainly do some writing in my books, but I don't do a whole lot of talking anymore. I just don't.
Well, my thing is, how you going to get people educated if they don't want to read the book? You remember they used to have the saying, if you wanted to keep information away from black people, what do?
Put it in
a book.
Yeah.
My point. Now, if you don't want to go to school, you don't want to evolve, you don't want to become more educated, that means you're not going to be a critical thinker, so you're not going to pick up a book. You'll get a job, you'll get a certificate, you'll get put into a job, right? And that's all you'll be able to do is that job. There's no growth. There's no moving up. Why should I? You're bringing nothing to the table. I'm going to look for, if I'm an employer, I'm going to look for someone that has potential to grow. So if a guy comes in, he's got his little high school diploma, essay, what do they call it, a GED or something like that, or a certificate. And then I got another cat that comes in with a master's degree, but I need someone to be a manager.
Of course.
I mean, it's simple for me. And when we say we got to be twice as good, we only make up 13% of here. So how much competition we got? We got a lot of competition in this country to move up and grow. And like any good soldier, you gotta be armed. You gotta be prepared. If we're gonna go to battle, then we have to be prepared. You can't go to war with your pockets empty. You got to have all your right equipment, the right shoes, the right weapon. Everything has to be correct in order for you to at least compete in this battle. We're in a battle. They're trying to take us way back. You see what this president's trying? He's trying to bring us back to Jim Crow. He's trying to take all our rights away. And you got young people that say, I don't want to vote. Voting don't make a difference. And I tried to explain to a young person, everywhere we've gotten, every game we've gotten came to a vote. Always came down to a vote. Everyone. anything important that's in this country that's been made, the movement's been come down to a vote. But if you don't vote, you got no say.
That's right.
And they're telling you, they're trying to tell you, you get these what do you call it? The rappers and these other celebrities, they'll come out and tell you, hey, don't vote. We don't need to vote. Don't vote. Don't vote. She's not black enough. Oh, and they're so easily swayed, man. I'm gonna tell you, I hope this young lady runs again in 2028. And just to like stick it to them. Because nobody wanted to vote for her. Everybody had all these negative this and negative that. Not that there was anything negative about the woman. Anybody could say she was much more qualified than what we have now. At least she's not a 34-time a criminal, right? They decided not to have her. They wanted this guy, and look at what it got us. We're getting ready to go to war again. If we're not in a war again, come on. We got to deal with the Epstein files. We got to deal with the lying. Did you hear this man lying on the right there in front of the TV? What do you call this? The state address. The economy is doing better than it's ever been doing. Really? Okay.
Yeah.
So this is what I mean. Right, but this is what I mean about we as the elders. We have to educate our youth on everything, finances. Because they don't teach that in school anymore, right? Remember when you were younger, they taught you how to fill out your checkbooks and to balance. That was it. They don't do any of that anymore. And now it's pretty much all digital, right? You got kids walking around with credit card. They don't even need credit card. They can use their phone. Okay? And they're using this like you use cash. So they're not thinking about the interest charges or anything. So with the financial literacy, we understand. We have to understand that. How do we get that? Through education. We have to have education. If just enough education to teach us how to survive in this world, we got to have those skills. Okay, we can't always take those jobs lifting boxes. You know, we want to be better than that, right?
I agree.
Ashe. I've been learning so much, man. I'm telling you, I'm getting old, and it's something else, man. I'm not 71, but since I have retired, I have learned a lot. So how long have you been retired now?
About 12 years.
Okay. What'd you do?
Truck driver.
Wow. What kind of truck? Big ones?
Big one. I don't play with that little stuff.
Oh, Peterbilt, Kenworth, what'd you drive?
I drove them all. It don't matter the brand name. Volvo, Peterbilt, Shake Freight. It's Volvo. I mean, I've been in all of them. I've driven end dumps, which is a dirt truck, 10-wheeler super dump truck. I've driven freezer trucks. There's nothing flatbeds. There's nothing pretty much I haven't driven or carried. I carried black powder, dynamite. Watermelons. Ain't nothing. I had too much. I had the endorsements for explosives and all that. Did you know ketchup is explosive?
Really?
Yeah.
Didn't know it mixed with what? You have to mix it with something, right?
No,
it just
can't be having the back of your trailer back there. When that trailer gets so hot, that ketchup would blow up.
Wow, I never knew that.
I didn't either till I got out there. Yeah, but it's because you have to put a placard on the side of your truck.
Uh-huh.
And then the CHP or state trooper, they know exactly what you carry. I was carrying some stuff that I didn't even have to stop at the scales. They weighed me off. You keep going. And if the truck would have blown up, I don't even think I would have wanted to survive.
Wow.
Yeah,
so you went from the gang member, right, to with the stutter. I got that. From the stutter, well, let's do it this way. You went from the stutter to you ain't messing with me no more because you keep messing with me, I'm gonna whip your ass.
That's
you
right.
went into the gang, and then you started getting that courage because you went and you got rid of the stutter because you went to different people taught you, and the school they got you better. So now you didn't have to study some more. So you got the courage. You were in the gang, and then you decided, hey, I can't do this anymore. And you went to driving trucks?
No. when I was in the games, I was always what they call a box boy.
Mm.
So I always work in markets or liquor stores, that type of thing. So I had a job doing that for about 11 years. I became a cable TV installer, a lineman. I also worked for ADT Security System, putting in burglar alarm system.
So you got a chance to be well-rounded, but you decided that you had a choice.
I had some choices, and I had to find myself on what I like to do. For a long time, I was a local truck driver, and then I decided I want to go over the road.
Okay.
So I ran all 48 states for about 12 years.
How was that? Was it something that you felt you wanted to do? You enjoyed it?
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I don't think it's a job for a married man. Because if you're not at home, you can't compete, brother. And I know that hurted a lot of truck drivers, but I know a lot of stories. But if you ain't at home, you can't compete. Guys get back on the road, get on channel 19, which is the channel that all the truckers on, right?
Mm-hmm.
They get on channel 19 and be crying and crying and crying and come home and Jody's at the house and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Jody got your girl and gone.
Jody got your girl and gone. So I would tell guys, hey, man, get off there crying, man, and go to 14 or whatever. You know, it's like 1027 means change channel. 1027, 14. And they go to channel 14, and we had this conversation offline. And I always told them, I don't know if I was helping or hurting, but I always tell them, brother, look, you missing all the holidays. Your woman, all her family got their husbands over and all that, and he's always alone. So you got a problem.
Mm.
You got to, if you're not at home, you can't compete, bro.
Well, that's the same thing they would tell us in the military too, you know?
Is it?
Yeah, Jody got your girl and gone, boy. Yeah, Jody's something else, man.
Jody Cole, man.
No, we used to sing songs about Jody.
Man, I guess we all had a Jody in our life.
I guess, you know, but what I can say about your life, man, is a good example for other people that shows them that you don't have to remain in one place. You can actually evolve, and there's different stages as you evolve. You don't have to remain in a shoebox. You understand?
That's right.
Because you're in a gang or you're in a situation doesn't mean you have to remain that way.
That's right.
A lot of life depends on you.
Yeah.
And which way you want to go.
And I tell people, sure, I left the game when I was 18 years old. 18. But I was in that life, but that wasn't me. That wasn't who I was. At that time, a gang member, yes, but that's not who Jimmy Lavender is. I'm not a heartless person. I'm not some cold-blooded killer, which a lot of people think gang members are. No, I'm not. I'll give you a pass. You all right. If I see you with your woman, your child, automatic pass. But I want you to know, I saw you. I saw you, but I gave you a pass. Now, that's the kind of gang member I was.
Yeah, Brooklyn was a little different, man. Brooklyn was like, you strolled through the neighborhood. First question was asked, what the hell you doing here? You don't live here. What you doing here? Ain't no reason for you to be here. So Brooklyn was like that. Brooklyn was a lot of violence, a lot of fighting, just constant. Like you could figure this. At least 3 days or 4 days out of the week, you was gonna be fighting somebody. That's kind of how it was in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah. But let me close out with this. So, what is it that you like? What would you like to tell the youth?
What I would say to the youth is pay attention to what's going on in the world today. Pay attention. See what's going on to what they're, as you said earlier, what they're trying to do to us as a people. Pay attention. Pay attention. Keep your head up. I would tell them have a concrete plan, listen more than you talk, and keep your nose clean. Keep your nose clean.
All right, well, it's just about time for us to close out the show, so I'm going to do just that. I really appreciate you coming on. Hopefully, you can come back. I guess this will be, if you come back, what would that be, a part 3 for us?
It would be.
I guess
Yeah,
we have to wait another
LA.
couple of years for that, you know?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know about me coming out to LA too much anymore. I'm getting old, bro, and it hurts a little bit more. I've had another operation, and each time it hurts a little bit more. You know.
I understand.
So right now I'm just trying to give more to my kids. That's all. Trying to lead by example. I've tried to do that pretty much. My son will tell you pretty much all their life. I've tried to lead by example. If I tell them you need to get a college degree, I go out and get 2, and show them how hard it is to work to get one. I tell them to open their own business, to be entrepreneurs. I want them to be critical thinkers. That's what I want my children to be. So this is what I also want for my people. I don't want just women empowerment, men empowerment. I'm trying to empower the family, because that is the largest and strongest organization known to man. Right on? So again, we got to have another part.
We got to, and I have to say you did a great job with Brother Ja.
Oh, please. That man, let me tell you, it ain't so much me, man. I'm the brother bad. I've been calling him doctor since he was about 14, 15 years old. I've been calling him doc.
I call him brains.
I call him the doctor of philosophy, bro, because he can do his thing, man. Just sit down and listen to it for a little while. You got to go, hold on, wait, let me get the chair.
Man.
Okay.
Man. Well, you know what? He's done a lot for me with the TROP program, and even when my books, I call the doctor, and he's giving me ideas on titles and different, whatever it is I call him for. He always got some type of positive answer, and he's something else.
I've been calling him Doc forever. All my kids have nicknames. Okay, I nickname all my kids. I'm not kidding you. I got my daughter. She's Nut. She's a computer nut, so we always call her Nut. Yeah. My youngest son is KJ. That's Kendall Jr. And you look at him and you can say, yeah, that's Kendall Jr.
Yeah.
You know, my man here is the oldest, and that's the Doc. That's the doctor of philosophy.
Okay.
You know? So he'll tell you, if I need somebody to go to for something real, it's him and I. No, because it's him and I. We've been down that road. We've been down that real road. So I know he got my back for real. So that's the one he got my back thick and thin, no matter what. Now that's what I need in my life. You know, that's what we need in our lives.
Well, he's told me a lot about you. So he's got a lot of love for you, a lot of respect.
Right on.
Yeah.
Like I said, we're about at the end of the show, and I really got to do this closeout because I got to introduce Monday show, Tuesday show, Wednesday show. We are not a podcast. For those that are watching, we are not a podcast. What we are is digital radio. Digital radio. We're a network. We have at least 6 shows under my umbrella. Not one podcast. We have 6 shows. Okay. For those that we're talking about the youth, on Thursday, we have a young man. His name is Chris Mathis, and he has a show called Sharing Your Light. That show comes on at 6 o'clock. Prior to that, we have a young lady. She comes on. She has a show known as the Daughters of the Divine Joy. Great show. Now, tomorrow, Monday, one of our better shows that we have, Mental Health Mondays. Mental health is a very important thing. And on Tuesday, of course, we come back with politics. And there we get an opportunity to talk about politics and say what's going on. But we call it politics because we like to give you that hard truth, as my son would say. Hit it to your heart. Talk truth to power. We have governors, we have doctors, lawyers, congressmen, senators, state representatives. We invite all of these people to come on, and when they come on, we have nice long talks. Nice, long, good interviews. Gives the people an opportunity to see their representative, their state representative, from a different light. Because as you can see, we're not scripted, not at all. So the questions that I ask are usually right off the cuff, and I try to ask questions that I think people want to hear. Oh, okay. That's my doggy. All right, let me go ahead and see what's going on, brother. Thank you
Thanks
very
for
much
having
for coming in. All right. All right, my name is Kendall Stevenson. This is the Empowerment Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. Stay strong, stay blessed, be yourself, because everybody else is taken.